Hey there, and welcome back to the show. I'm Demetria Zinga, podcast strategist, agency founder, and your go-to for soulful storytelling and CEO-level podcasting support. And today, this episode is a little bit different. It's not a tutorial, it's not a checklist, it's a reintroduction. Because while this podcast has always been about helping you share your voice, what I do and who I do it for has grown. So I'm going to take you back for a moment. This is story time. So if you want to go get your favorite drink or beverage, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the background of soul podcasting and how we got where we are. So go ahead and grab your favorite drink, tea, coffee, or whatever you like, and head on back to the show. My friend, let me take you back for a minute. This is episode 37, and we've had 36 awesome episodes of DIY support for podcasters. So I want to share with you a little bit more and get a bit deeper into the how, the why, the what, just the whole background behind what I'm doing and why I've been doing this. Back near the end of 2004, I first dipped my toes into this podcasting waters, and I didn't have fancy gear or studio setups, but with passion and purpose and a whole lot of experimenting, I was able to figure things out as I went and started a boatload of different shows. In 2006, I launched what I called the Internet Radio Podcast Bootcamp, and that was a teleseminar style experience, which was designed to help women share their message in a brand new way, back when podcasting was still finding its voice and teleseminars were all the rage. And out of that early work was born my first official podcasting brand besides the bootcamp, and that was called Publish a Podcast. It was a grassroots effort to teach business owners how to launch and grow their own shows. And out of this particular brand, I grew a podcast called Publish a Podcast, and it was basically scrappy and soulful, and it was sparked by a deep desire to amplify underrepresented voices. Over time, I tested all kinds of creative ideas. I came up with something called Pink Pods. It was a boutique podcast service tailored specifically for women entrepreneurs who needed support with production and launch back when there were very few agencies that were speaking directly to women. As we know, the podcasting space or any of the tech spaces were male dominated, and it's just the way it's always been. And so I wanted to bring kind of this different edge to a slice of the tech world back in those days, and thought that bringing underrepresented voices to the forefront was one way I could tap into my community in a way that felt the most authentic to me. So we're going to fast forward all the way past all of my work that I've done over the years, and we're going to skip to 2022. So we're skipping 20 different brands, podcasts, websites, launches, blogs, projects that stuck, projects that didn't stick, lots of experimentation. In 2022, my initial mission to help underrepresented voices evolved all over again, and this became Impact Podcast Coach. And this is what I've been talking about on this show for the past 2 to 3 years. It's where I focused on one-on-one coaching and consulting for personal brands, creatives, and purpose-driven leaders who were ready to grow their impact through podcasting. So that's what this show has been built on. And then there's the Christian Women Podcasters Network, which is a community that I started, honestly, 20 years ago by God's grace. And I started it, but then I lost that domain name. I had it back in closer to 2006. I started that community then, and then I lost the domain name, never thought about it again until 2022, and restarted the Christian Women Podcasters Network at that point. So it is starting up again as a relaunch. It's still going strong, but it's still a baby, and it continues to be a heartfelt space for faith-driven women podcasters to connect, to collaborate, and to grow. This is what we're trying to build at this point. So I'll be sharing more about that in future episodes, but it remains still an integral part of my story. So now here we are with a brand new chapter called Soul Podcasting Collective. And I'm just going to be honest with you. This is really not a rebrand, and it's not a starting over or a relaunch. It's a reintroduction. It's a full circle moment. I'm not just here as your podcast cheerleader. I'm here as your creative agency. We are here, your behind the scenes support team. We're ready to help you step into your CEO role by handling the editing, the production, coaching, and repurposing so that we can all stay in our lane and you can lead with your voice doing what you do best. Because you weren't meant to do this all by yourself. You were meant to soar and to have people behind you, a support team that can help you. So you can learn more about what we offer at soulpodcasting.com. I'm really excited because we just launched this website this week. So it's all set up and ready to go, and we are currently taking clients. I'm going to talk a bit about seasons of creativity and pivoting. Throughout the years, I branched out into all these other niches that I briefly mentioned a few minutes ago. I wrote blogs about education, about homeschooling, about faith. I created content that supported women at every stage of life, especially moms and solopreneurs. It's always been my heart because that was the season that I was in. But every creative turn brought me right back to the mic. Podcasting always felt like home. It was never just about the audio. It was about impact, connection, and legacy. So I'm back now, but hopefully we're back in a more elevated way, in a way that I can help more people. And I feel like I'm back full force, but I have grown up. My clients have grown. The type of people I'm working with is a bit different than how I started, and the work has grown. So welcome to Soul Podcasting Collective. This isn't just coaching for the newbie podcaster. This is a full service strategy, audio, video editing, coaching, and repurposing for founders, for experts, for personal brands, and visionaries. I'm here for the CEOs, for the movement makers, the business owners who are too busy editing their own reels and know it's time to stay in their zone of genius. That's what this is about. This podcast used to focus solely on helping you to launch, right? I have 30 plus episodes helping you to get started with podcasting. And don't get me wrong, those first 36 episodes have served that purpose beautifully, but it is time for a new chapter, a more strategic one, a more powerful one. So what does this mean? Here's what I've learned. If you've outgrown the hustle of DIY podcasting, here's how you start to elevate and step fully into your role as the visionary and not just the technician. So I want you to think about these 4 steps that will help you to do that. And the first is to acknowledge the shift. This is where I am in my life right now as well, as I'm shifting into a new role. You're no longer just the scrappy startup piecing together your podcast between client calls. You're actually running a business, you're building a brand, and you're leading with vision. That means that your podcast isn't just a side project anymore. It's a strategic part of your business ecosystem. When you begin to see your podcast as a brand amplifier, a space to grow trust, to build authority, and speak directly to your aligned audience, you'll start treating it with the care and support it deserves. That shift in mindset is the first step to scaling both your show and your impact. Number 2, you have to let go to grow. Yes, you can edit your episodes. You can write your show notes. You can design your graphics. You can repurpose your clips. But should you, is the question. Every hour that you spend editing is an hour that you're not coaching, that you're not speaking, that you're not innovating. So it's time to delegate so that you can create from your zone of genius. And that's where we come in at Soul Podcasting Collective. It's how we specialize in helping founders like you to release the busy work so you can focus on your own brilliance. We handle the audio polishing, the visual assets, and the strategy support so that you can simply show up, speak, and shine. Number 3, turn your podcast into a platform. Your show can and should do more than just entertain. It should position you. Think about your podcast as the digital stage for your business. It's a platform where your voice builds trust, your story builds loyalty, and your insights drive decision making. We help you turn every episode into something that works for you, whether that's attracting aligned clients or creating evergreen thought leadership or building strategic brand partnerships. We don't just help you publish content, we help you build presence. And fourthly, last but not least, you want to invest in strategy and not just the sound, right? Anyone can throw a filter on your audio and call it a day. But the true podcast growth comes from intentional content. It's the consistent delivery and its strategic direction. And that's why our agency is built not just on editing skills. We can edit for sure, but on marketing your expertise on helping you with storytelling finesse and brand aligned strategy. So we collaborate with you because we have over 20 years of digital marketing expertise in addition to podcasting. We've got knowledge on how to help you with your branding, with your SEO, with your collaborations. So we collaborate with you to ensure that your podcast reflects your mission, it speaks to your audience, and it integrates seamlessly with your wider marketing goals. You deserve more than just to sound good, right? You deserve a sound strategy. So, my friend, if you're ready to stop playing small with your podcast, if you're ready to create a show that actually serves your business or your organization or ministry, if you're ready to feel supported, this is your moment. Impact Podcast Coach has evolved into a full-service agency at Soul Podcasting Collective, and we're here to provide everything you need to elevate your podcast, from editing, production, coaching, strategy, and so much more. So let's elevate together. Head on over to soulpodcasting.com to learn more about our services, or you can shoot me a message. You can find me over on Instagram. I'm at Soul Podcasting there now. So there's a whole new account just for this brand at Soul Podcasting. I'm also still at Demetria Zinga if you follow me on that account as well. But if you want more podcast specific content, you can find me at Soul Podcasting. And you can also find me on LinkedIn, which is my full name, Demetria Zinga, and you'll see that in the show notes as well. I'd love to help you bring your vision to life and to share your voice with the world. So thank you for being here for this new season of the Soul Podcasting Podcast. I'm so honored to walk it out with you. And until next time, keep sharing your soul, keep shining, and happy podcasting.